How's it going, everyone? It's Ben Foggins, Media Corner, back again with a brand new video for today. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. This time for this new episode for the series is going to be my review on the 2024 spy action comedy thriller, and that is The Union. This is directed by Julian, who you may know him as the director of the HBO series Entourage, in which he was known for directing the first 3 seasons of that show. And in this movie, we follow a constructive worker named Mike, played by Mark Wahlberg, who is thrust into the world of espionage when his high school sweetheart named Roxanne, played by Halle, recruits him in a high-stakes intelligence mission. So that's pretty much the story of The Union. Now, this is another spy film that's made by Netflix themselves, and usually when it comes to these movies that's made by Netflix themselves, they either are hit or miss. And in recent years, there have been a few handful of them that I enjoy quite a bit, even though there are a few of them that I just tend to find pretty forgettable, and yet they're the ones that I just don't find myself ever revisiting them again in the future. But when it comes to the two actors themselves who are in this film, which you've got Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry, I'm a big fan of both of those actors. You know, Mark Wahlberg, he's fun to watch in anything that he does. And Halle Berry, she's one of my favorite actresses, you know, Academy Award winner. And I enjoyed her in a few movies that I've seen her in over the last few years and decades, and even for some of the ones that she's been doing in recent years as well. And this film came out on Netflix on the 16th of August this year, but I didn't check this out straight away when it came out on Netflix. So I just watched this film just a month after it was released on Netflix. And after watching this whole movie here, it's definitely another spy film from Netflix that I would put into the forgettable side here, because I just found this film just pretty much being really generic here. The storytelling for this movie I just kind of felt was really predictable, because it tends to throw in a bunch of curveballs here and there when it comes to the amount of convention and cliches that's going on in the film, like the mission that the characters take part in which that just feels really cliched, and the villainous entity that the characters go up against in the film just also felt really cliched. And yeah, for that side of the film, it tends to have like a twist as well, in which when that occurred on screen as I was watching this film, I was just like, yeah, I can see like where this was going, as well as like what the character was going to do after like the whole reveal of like who they really are in the film. And as for the two leads themselves, Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry, they are good in the movie, and they did a fine job together with their banter that they do provide here and there in this film, and it does cut back and forth when it comes to some of that in the film. Although the arcs that the film does try to represent here, I just felt were really unnecessary when it comes to some of that here and there in this film, and it mostly just goes back and forth when it comes to some of that in this film. And the other actors who are in the film, which you've got like J.K. Simmons, Mike Colter, and Jackie Earle, they did a fine job with this movie here, and the action for the most part is at times passable when it comes to some of that in this film, where it tries to provide some entertainment value when it comes to some of the action scenes within this movie here and there. But all in all, The Union, it's definitely one I would put on the forgettable side here when it comes to some of the Netflix spy movies, and it's just also one I just can describe this one for being really generic here. But if you're a fan of like spy movies, or you're a fan of like any of the stars like Mark Wahlberg or Halle Berry, this one might be a cup of tea here, but it's just one I just don't find myself ever revisiting again in the future here. So that's pretty much all I have to say about The Union. I'm going to give The Union 2 out of 5. As I said, it's definitely just a one-time watch here, and it is certainly that I wouldn't find myself ever revisiting again in the future here as well. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my AK After I Saw review on The Union, and let me know what you think of this movie if you have seen this already, or if just recently check this out. Did you either enjoy this one, or was this not your cup of tea? As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and this has been Foggins Media Corner signing off.